Hello students. Today's session we'll be learning meaning and importance of effective transition. Transition forms a lifelong grid in the human life through which all people move gradually from known into unknown realms of experience. Change is inevitable. Children go through numerous modifications in the initial few years of their lifespan, including variations in structure, learning environment, societal groups, expectations, roles, etc. These changes promote and provide for children's learning and growth at multiple levels. The major life event for all children is starting school. It is a time of significant change where children have to adjust to the novel settings, rules, caregivers, routines, expectations, etc. A transition which cannot be excluded for children is a transition from home to school or from preschool to formal schooling. As each child is unique and the needs are different, similarly, pre-transition experiences for children and their families will be unique, different and diverse. For instance, a child from a vulnerable family will experience transition differently, and a child belonging to a family involved in stimulating him or her will experience transition way different from that of the first child. Consequently, children can experience transition in different ranges. It depends on the educational background and the preparation the child and his or her family experiences prior to the shift. The emotional journey that the child faces during the entry into school is important, and it yields stress, strain and discomfort in children. During the entry into school and transition from pre-primary to primary, children are placed in unaccustomed settings. Parents, teachers, school management can render help during this phase by supporting them and directing them to develop, exhibit appropriate behaviors, required behaviors for further development. Learning outcomes. At the end of the module, the reader will be able to understand the meaning of transition, importance of transition in young children, types of transition. The term transition has different interpretations that is not readily captured in one meaning. One generic definition would be transition is a course of moving from specific period to another. They are associated with variations in people's outward forms, roles, responsibilities, tasks, position they are in. Relationships, it is also linked to physical and social space. Transition is explained as a course of change where an individual adjusts to a novel environment. Transition is about the shift that an individual experiences during a phase of time. Children face transition at different contexts. Transition is holistic, multiple people and their collaborative efforts are responsible to support children transit successfully from one phase to another. The term transition is interchangeably used with another term called school readiness or orientation to school. However, researchers have differentiated orientation to school as awareness of practical skills and transition as adjustment and continuity for the change experienced by an individual. Over the years, a large amount of research has been conducted on the various facets of transition. A number of conclusions have come forth. Children transit through different mark situations. These can be organized according to the age, stage, and type of school. Kagan in 1992 described transition into two types, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal transition, movement across various settings that children encounter during the phase of time within a particular time frame. For example, Children transiting from one setting to another. Children in horizontal setting encounter different people at various service within a particular day. Vertical transition. Movement within the program during a day. This transition occurs across the service. Moving from one activity to another can be referred as vertical transition. Growth and change exist during transition. Each phase of transition is separate and few experiences includes a sense of loss which is temporary. Individuals respond differently to change, whilst children like to know in advance what is coming up so they can feel comfortable. According to Novak Djokovic Foundation, there are three major transitional periods in early childhood that a child must go through. Away from home. This is the first educational experience for a child. This transition is associated when the individual starts an early care program such as daycare centers or any such arrangement. Children must be equipped for this shift as this is the first transition experienced by children. To kindergarten. This is another major transition in children. Though the curriculum is mainly based on play-based tasks, our societal norms associate this transition as the first step to start education. Kindergarten is always seen as the first move towards school and education. Children need to understand and change routines to adapt to the needs of kindergarten. Changing bedtime routines, getting up early, visiting a kindergarten during open day, to get familiarized with the environment will help children in successfully transiting from daycare center to kindergarten. From kindergarten to primary school. This is a shift that children experience from learning based on play to formal or traditional education system. Though children will still engage in learning experiences based on play, but it will be theoretical in nature as the focus would be in teaching math, reading, writing, etc. Change is constant, and this means that children developmentally have to go through many other changes in their life. These changes can be challenging for children and can be dealt positively by parents, teachers, and other individuals associated with the child. It can be summed up as transition is a shift or a change from one situation to another. Transition can be divided into four different kinds according to the stimuli. Transition can be divided into four different kinds according to the situations and the age of the child or individual is in. According to the stage and the developmental needs, transitional supports needs to be provided for children and parents.